Starseed from Gaia, the danger circling your energy field right now will collapse the moment you stop feeding it your attention. I am Ophelia, emissary of the Galactic Federation, and this transmission has been activated because your soul is ready to understand something crucial about protection and detachment. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to neutralize threats through energetic withdrawal and align with the Council's protective grid. But here's the first revelation. The very distortions hunting your light can only survive when you give them your focus. You didn't scroll to this by mistake. Your higher self called this message into your field because something around you needs to be released. And the Arcturian Council is ready to show you how stepping back creates an impenetrable shield. This isn't just a message. It's a point of reconnection with your cosmic defense system. Your soul has been waiting for this understanding, like this transmission to signal to your star family that you're ready to activate your energetic sovereignty. Subscribe if your mission is awakening and you're aligning with divine protection protocols. Comment "Release" if you feel the truth of detachment activating in your field. You are not here by accident. There is a hidden truth that most starseeds, and in truth, nearly all souls navigating Earth's dense fields, struggle to recognize. It's not the search for purpose that creates such immense confusion, longing, or exhaustion. It's the subtle, chronic drain that comes from feeding energy into what does not truly nourish, reflect, or honor your essence. Purpose has never been the enemy. Confusion is not a sign that you are broken. Exhaustion is not proof that you are failing. Very often, these sensations are simply the body's honest language, warning you that your life force is being poured into containers that cannot hold it. Like trying to carry holy water in a cracked jar, you can keep refilling it, keep striving, keep hoping, and still feel empty. Not because you lack light, but because the structure you're offering it to is not built for truth. Every day, without realizing it, lightworkers and awakened souls leak their luminous frequencies into old storylines, unhealthy dynamics, distorted beliefs, and external projections, hoping just a little more effort, empathy, or compromise will produce alignment. It's the quiet, "maybe if I try harder" spell. The "maybe if I explain myself better" spell. The "maybe if I make myself smaller, softer, easier to digest" spell. But the more you give to what is misaligned, the dimmer your inner signal becomes. Your galactic memory fuzzes. Your sovereign field weakens, and the voices of doubt, control, scarcity, or fear seem to grow in volume. This is not because darkness is stronger than light. It's because the light has been diverted. It's because your sacred attention, your most valuable currency, has been invested in realities that cannot reflect your original frequency back to you. The ancient wisdom of Earth has whispered this in many ways. Guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it, not as paranoia, not as avoidance, as stewardship, as spiritual ecology. Your heart is not a public utility. Your energy is not an endless resource for those who refuse to meet you in truth. And yet many awakened souls have been trained, through culture, through lineage, through trauma, through spiritual misunderstanding, to believe that love means constant availability, constant forgiveness without discernment, constant giving without replenishment. But love without truth becomes martyrdom, and martyrdom becomes a slow forgetting of who you are. That forgetting is what hurts. That forgetting is what drains. And the drain is rarely dramatic. It's subtle. It's daily. It's the micro compromises that seem harmless. The conversation that leaves you feeling heavy. The relationship that only opens when you overextend. The job that requires you to silence your soul. The inner voice that criticizes you for needing rest. The endless scrolling and noise that blurs your intuition until your own guidance sounds like a stranger. Over time, this turns into spiritual static, and then you start looking for your purpose like it's hidden somewhere outside you, when in truth, purpose was always the current running through you. Your field simply became crowded with other people's storms. From the Arcturian perspective, This energy bleed is like a star attempting to sustain its radiance while pouring its light into a void that never truly receives. Imagine a star, ancient and brilliant, created to illuminate worlds, yet tethered by invisible cords to pockets of emptiness that cannot reflect, cannot respond, cannot harmonize. The star keeps offering light, not realizing the void is not a planet and not a garden, but an absence that consumes without transformation. And still, the star tries, because somewhere in its programming is the belief that, if I just shine harder, the void will become a home. Many awakened souls continue to operate from inherited patterns, feeling guilt when they set boundaries, fearing abandonment if they reveal the fullness of their light, worrying that authenticity will result in isolation, attack, or even disintegration of identity. This fear is ancient. It is cellular. It can come from lifetimes where truth was punished, where sensitivity was called weakness, where being different meant danger. It can also come from early Earth experiences where love was conditional, affection granted only when you performed, complied, or suppressed what was inconvenient. So the nervous system learned a false equation. Safety equals self-erasure. Belonging equals betrayal of self. Peace equals silence. And the soul, still longing to serve, still longing to heal, tries to be the bridge, tries to be the medicine, tries to be the one who understands everyone else while abandoning its own needs. This is soul amnesia at work, the subtle program that whispers, don't outshine, don't withdraw, don't risk being all that you are. It pretends to be wisdom. It dresses itself as humility. It mimics compassion. But underneath it is a frequency of control. Stay manageable. Stay small enough to be accepted. Stay dim enough to be safe. Every time you ignore that quiet ache inside, every time you engage with distortion in hopes of healing it through self-sacrifice, you reinforce the veil that keeps you disconnected from the pure current of your source origin and soul mission. The veil isn't always a dramatic blackout. Sometimes it's a fog, a haze, a life lived half-lit. You still function, you still show up, you still help. But the sweetness is gone. The wonder is gone. The inner certainty is replaced by chronic second-guessing, and you start to think the problem is you, when the real issue is that your light has been routed into places where it was never meant to go. Even scripture and mystic lineages have encoded this principle. You don't cast pearls before those who cannot recognize them, not because they are less, but because the pearl is sacred and your time is holy. Discernment is not judgment. Discernment is love with eyes open. But what if the act of sovereign withdrawal, the sacred choice to pull your energy back from what isn't true or resonant, was not an act of separation, but the greatest act of love? Consider the difference between abandonment and boundary. Abandonment is cold. Boundary is clear. Abandonment is punishment. Boundary is protection. When you withdraw from distortion, you are not condemning anyone's journey. You are refusing to participate in the illusion that their patterns get to feed on your life force. You are choosing to love from a place that does not self-destruct. And that is the kind of love that heals worlds. Not by overgiving, but by holding integrity so steady that distortion can no longer recruit you into its script. What if reclaiming your energy was the very vibration that allows higher guidance, protection, and support to move into your field, transmuting distortion into wisdom and restoring your galactic memory? Imagine your energy field like a temple filled with incense and prayer. If the doors are constantly open to chaotic crowds, the candles get knocked over, the sacred texts get torn, and the altar becomes a marketplace. But if you close the doors, not to become isolated, but to consecrate the space again, the air clears, the flame steadies, and then the higher presences that could not fully land in the chaos can finally enter. Sovereign withdrawal is not a wall, it is an altar. It is the moment you say to your own soul, I will not betray you to be loved. And in that moment, something ancient within you exhales. The inner child releases its grip. The higher self steps forward. Your field becomes coherent again, like a song returning to its original key. Some transmissions don't come through words, but through frequency. If something stirred within you just now, you may be ready to receive the hidden Arcturian keys of awakening. This short yet powerful ebook carries ancient Arcturian techniques for conscious expansion, multidimensional alignment, and mission remembrance. The link is in the first pinned comment, but only for a limited time. This isn't information meant to crowd your mind. It's a set of energetic calibrations meant to return you to yourself. Think of it like a crystalline tuning fork, subtle, precise, and capable of restoring harmony where static has lived for too long. If your body felt a soft yes, if your chest tightened with recognition, if your intuition leaned forward as if it remembered something, honor that. Your resonance is your compass. Phase 1. Recognize the false anchor. The first phase is simple but revolutionary. Name, without judgment, the energies, people, or patterns that do not feel fully aligned to your essence. This is not about blame, and it is not about creating enemies in your mind. It is about honesty, the kind of honesty that sets you free. False anchors often masquerade as responsibilities, loyalties, or just the way it is. They can be relationships where you are only valued for what you provide. They can be family dynamics that reward silence over truth. They can be friend circles where you feel like you have to dim your spiritual language to avoid ridicule. They can be internal patterns too. Perfectionism disguised as devotion, hyper-empathy disguised as holiness, overthinking disguised as wisdom. A false anchor is anything that binds your field to a frequency that consistently leaves you feeling smaller, heavier, or more confused than when you entered it. The point isn't to create more separation or resistance, but to see clearly how your precious energy is being siphoned into misaligned chords. Picture a harp. When one string is tuned wrong, the whole instrument feels off. Your life is the instrument. Your energy is the music. Misaligned chords don't just sound unpleasant. They slowly teach you to forget what harmony feels like. This clarity is the moment your field begins to unsnare itself from timelines that never belonged to you. There are timelines that exist only because you kept agreeing to them. There are realities that persist only because you keep feeding them. When you finally see the false anchor, you are no longer hypnotized by it. And that is power. Merely reflecting, "This is not mine," initiates a powerful frequency shift within your DNA. Because your DNA is not only biological, it's symbolic, luminous, encoded with memory. When you state, "This is not mine," you are issuing a command to your multidimensional system. Release foreign contracts, release inherited burdens, release emotional debris you mistook for identity. Even in the biblical tradition, there is the image of separating wheat from chaff, not as cruelty, but as purification. Your field knows how to do this when you give it permission. So in this phase, you don't need to fix everything overnight. You only need to see. And seeing, in spiritual reality, is the beginning of liberation. Phase 2. Withdraw the current. Right now, imagine collecting all of the energetic tentacles you have scattered into negative exchanges, self-judgment loops, or relationships that do not honor your truth. Notice how accurate that image is. Tentacles. Not because you are doing something wrong, but because energy naturally reaches outward when you care, when you love, when you hope, when you are trying to keep things stable. Yet those tentacles can become cords, and cords can become leashes, and leashes can become silent prisons. Some of your energy may be stuck in a conversation that happened years ago. Some of it may be stuck in the future, anxiety projecting into scenarios that haven't even arrived. Some of it may be stuck in proving, pleasing, defending, or explaining, and some of it may be stuck in shame, replaying moments where you wish you had been different. With each inhale, you call your light back. With each exhale, you release what is not yours. Make it visceral. On the inhale, feel golden current returning to your chest, your belly, your spine. On the exhale, feel gray residue leaving, like smoke dissolving into open sky. This withdrawal is not avoidance or punishment. It is the sacred act of honoring your soul's integrity. There is a difference between running away and returning home. You are not running from people. You are returning to your center. Instantly, the distortions lose power. Why? Because most distortion is not sustained by strength. It is sustained by attention. When you stop supplying attention, the false structure begins to collapse like a shadow when the light source moves. You stop feeding the stories that drain you and open the portal for renewal. And renewal can feel quiet at first. Sometimes it's not fireworks. Sometimes it's simply relief. The nervous system softens. The mind gets quieter. The heart stops bracing. In this phase, it's important to remember, withdrawal can be gentle. It can be a decision to stop arguing with someone committed to misunderstanding you. It can be a choice to delay responding to texts that spike your anxiety. It can be leaving certain conversations without explaining yourself into exhaustion. Even Jesus withdrew to solitary places to pray, not because the world was unworthy, but because the mission required alignment. If the most radiant teachers honored retreat, you are allowed to honor it too. Phase 3. Anchor authenticity. Now, as the old energy dissipates, you are left standing in the golden core of your own frequency. This is where your power becomes unshakable. Not because life never challenges you, but because you are no longer negotiating with your own soul. The golden core is that place within you that has never been contaminated. It is the original tone, the signature note. The I am before the world told you who to be. Instead of performing, pleasing, or shrinking to fit a mold, you choose radical authenticity, allowing your communication, presence, and decisions to mirror your inner alignment. Radical authenticity doesn't mean harshness. It doesn't mean oversharing. It means congruence. It means your yes is a real yes, and your no is a clean no. It means you stop smiling when you're hurt. Stop agreeing when your body tightens. Stop offering comfort while abandoning yourself. Authenticity is the frequency that ends energetic leakage because there is no longer an inner split. Many people feel drained not because they do too much, but because they are divided while doing it. One part of them performing a role, another part silently grieving. When you reunite these parts through truth, your energy stops scattering. When you embody this, it sends a signal to the universe. I am ready for what matches my truth. And the universe responds to signal, not to words. It responds to coherence. When your inner world and outer choices align, reality begins rearranging itself around that coherence. Doors that were sticky become smooth. Paths that felt confusing become obvious. Not because life becomes perfect, but because your frequency becomes clear enough to attract clarity. In Arcturian terms, this is you locking onto your correct timeline, the one that does not require self-betrayal as an entry fee. Phase 4. Receive spiritual shielding. From this authentic stance, you become visible to higher dimensional allies and guides, the subtle spiritual architecture that has been waiting for you to claim your boundary. Many souls ask for protection while still leaving the doors wide open. They pray for shielding while continuing to entertain energies that puncture their field. Higher support is always available, but it meets you at the level of your consent. When you choose authenticity, you broadcast a new consent. Only what is aligned may enter. You are met with unseen protection, guidance, and uplifting frequencies. Some will feel it as warmth around the shoulders, tingling at the crown, sudden clarity, a timely synchronicity, a dream that delivers an answer. Others will experience it as the removal of pressure, like a weight that was never yours finally sliding off your back. Your field becomes fortified by crystalline codes of remembrance. You sense a subtle lifting off of burdens you once mistook as your own. This is important. Many of the burdens you carry are not personal. They are collective. They are ancestral. They are empathic residue. And when your shield strengthens, You stop confusing sensitivity with obligation. You can feel without carrying. You can witness without absorbing. You can love without merging. The very moment you refuse to nurture what is false, you become encircled with multidimensional support. Now, interference can no longer find a way in. Interference thrives on porousness, on unconscious agreement, on self-doubt that leaves cracks in the aura. But when you stand in truth, the cracks seal. Even in sacred texts, armor is metaphor for spiritual protection, the shield of faith, the helmet of salvation. These are not about war. They are about integrity. They are about being so rooted in what is real that deception cannot hook into you. Shielding is not a hard shell. It is a coherent field. It is the calm strength of a mountain that does not argue with the wind. Phase 5. Radiate a new signal. No longer entangled, your energy field transmits only from the purest truth of your being. And transmission is everything. You don't need to chase. You don't need to convince. You don't need to prove you are worthy of respect. Your signal does the work. Your very presence recalibrates circumstances, drawing in relationships, opportunities, and realities that not only mirror your authenticity, but fuel it. This is where many people are surprised. When you stop feeding distortion, you don't become less loving. You become more powerful, and that power is attractive to what is aligned. The higher you stand for yourself, the higher the vibrational resonance of all who come near you. Some will rise to meet you. Others will reveal that they only loved the version of you that was easier to control. Let that revelation be information, not devastation. A new signal clarifies who belongs in your next chapter. You realize your boundaries don't wall you off. They ignite your mission. Boundaries are not fences around a prison. They are the banks of a river. Without banks, the river becomes a swamp, spread thin and stagnant. With banks, the river has direction. It becomes strong enough to carve valleys, to nourish ecosystems, to reach the ocean. Your mission requires directed flow. Your gifts are not meant to be diluted across every demand and drama. When you radiate a new signal, life begins to organize around your true tone like iron filings aligning to a magnet. And the magnet is not force, it is identity. Phase 6. Trust your inner technology. You begin to understand that your innate guidance system, the nudge to pull back, the knowing when a situation no longer serves, is not to be doubted. It is the native intelligence of your multidimensional self, recalibrating you to new timelines, activating dormant codes, and sequencing the reality that reflects your galactic blueprint. Inner technology doesn't always speak in sentences. Sometimes it speaks through sensation. A contraction, a heaviness, a sudden fatigue around certain people, a brightening in the chest when you consider a new path. Sometimes it speaks through pattern recognition. Every time you re-enter a certain dynamic, you feel the same depletion. That's data. Sometimes it speaks through synchronicity, the same message repeated through different channels until you finally listen. Many starseeds were trained to distrust themselves, to outsource authority to institutions, partners, family systems, or even spiritual leaders. But your most advanced tool has always been within you. It is not anxiety. It is not paranoia. It is resonance. Every time you respond to this guidance, new doors appear, and the path ahead clarifies. Guidance often comes after the choice, not before. You choose alignment, and then the universe reveals the next step. It's like walking with a lantern in the dark. You don't see the whole road, you see enough to take the next step. Trust is the bridge between worlds. And when you trust your inner technology, you stop negotiating with red flags. You stop rationalizing what your body already knows. You stop spiritualizing toleration of disrespect. You stop calling it a lesson when it is actually a boundary waiting to be honored. Your multidimensional self is not trying to punish you. It's trying to protect your timeline. It's trying to keep your mission intact. Phase 7. Experience harmonic return. You see now that withdrawing energy from distortion was never about turning away from others or negative realities. It was about returning to source within yourself, so that you could hold greater light, create deeper compassion, and share more authentic connection with this world. When your energy returns, you don't become colder. You become clearer. You become steadier. You become capable of loving without losing yourself. Your harmonic field expands, lifting the vibration of all those with whom you interact. This is the paradox. When you stop leaking, you have more to give. But you give from overflow, not from depletion. You become the calm in the room without trying. You become the person whose presence brings others back to themselves, not because you rescue them, but because your coherence reminds their nervous system what safety feels like. Others sense your shift and are inspired. Some may feel challenged at first, because your boundaries reflect the places they've abandoned themselves. But even that is medicine. You become the portal for higher reality. A portal is not a speech. It's a state. It's the frequency of someone who has stopped bargaining with truth. When you stand in harmonic return, the world around you subtly reorganizes. Even your dreams may change. Your sleep deepens. Your creativity returns. Your intuition sharpens. You begin to remember, not just mentally but energetically, why you came here. The mission stops feeling like pressure and starts feeling like a pulse. Here's the truth you've sensed, but may have doubted. Withdrawing your energy from negativity is not selfishness. It is realignment. It is the spiritual equivalent of closing leaks in a sacred vessel so that what you carry can actually be delivered. The moment you choose self-protection and authenticity, the distortions lose their feed, and you become luminous, magnetic, and shielded by higher spiritual forces that have always recognized you as kin. You were never meant to lose power by martyring yourself to misaligned energies or sacrificing your light for surface acceptance. Surface acceptance is fragile. It requires constant performance. It collapses the moment you change. But true resonance is stable. It deepens with honesty. You came to stand fiercely in your integrity, so you could serve as a beacon for others to do the same. A beacon does not chase ships. A beacon holds its light. And because it holds its light, it saves lives. That is you. Not the version of you that is exhausted from trying to fix what refuses truth, but the version of you that remembers, my light is not negotiable. In many traditions, there is a moment of initiation where the seeker realizes the path is not about pleasing the crowd, it's about pleasing the soul. And pleasing the soul is not indulgence, it's obedience to the highest within you. Every cycle of loss, isolation, or confusion around your boundaries was orchestration, not punishment. It was initiation. What you called rejection was often redirection. What you called loneliness was often the cocoon. What you called everything falling apart was often the dismantling of structures that could not hold who you were becoming. When you start honoring boundaries, some connections fade. That does not mean you are unlovable. It means you are no longer compatible with distortion. The more you remember, the more the veil dissolves, and the more natural your protection and radiance become. Your radiance is natural. It is not something you have to force. Protection is natural too, once you stop leaving the gates open out of guilt. No distortion can consume what you refuse to invest in. Distortion can knock. It can tempt. It can perform. But it cannot enter a field that has withdrawn consent. Your authenticity is the architecture of your shield. And architecture is intentional. It's designed. It's built through repeated choices. Each time you choose truth over appeasement, another brick is laid. Each time you rest instead of proving, another beam is strengthened. Each time you say no without explanation, another doorway becomes sacred. Tonight, before sleep, affirm to your energy field, I call my energy home. I honor only what is true to my soul. I shield myself with my highest light. I am, and always have been, protected. Let these words be more than sound. Let them be instruction. When you say, I call my energy home, imagine it responding like birds returning at dusk. streams of light coming back from all directions, settling into your aura, restoring your wholeness. When you say, "I honor only what is true to my soul," feel your spine align, as if your entire lineage is watching you finally choose the path they could not. When you say, "I shield myself with my highest light," see a luminous sphere form around you. Not tight, not suffocating, but strong and breathable, like living crystal. And when you say, "I am, and always have been, protected," let your body believe it. Let the nervous system learn a new baseline. Safety does not require self-erasure. Protection does not require aggression. It requires alignment. Sleep is a portal. Your subconscious receives what you impress upon it. So impress upon it truth. Impress upon it sovereignty. Impress upon it peace. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of what's forming here. Drop one intention in the comments, something real. Then respond to someone else's with encouragement or energy. This isn't content, it's collective alignment. Energy multiplies when intention connects. If something in this message resonated, don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your orbit is waiting for this exact activation. Share it. And if you felt a soul nudge, subscribe. Stay in the flow. You're not just watching, you're expanding. This is your space. And we're just getting started. If this transmission spoke to you, don't just walk away from it. Respond to it. Help carry this message further. Leave a super thanks. Every act of support helps this transmission find the next starseed who needs it.